for me it started back in April last year, and I went on a social ride with a few other guys from the team. They invited me along to training, which I went along to, enjoyed the buzz of cycling close together in a group. And it was hard work. I was getting dropped off the back, but at the end of the session it was we had a good laugh, good bit of crack and banter, and I thought this was exactly the environment that I wanted to push my cycling forward into and start racing. The team are very motivated, everybody's got a passion for cycling, and if I can just mention a phrase that one of my teammates, Mark Evans, said, the team's built on personalities and not egos, and that's what I love so much about the team. I think for me it definitely needs to be an endurance event, so something 40-50 miles, preferably with some large climbs in it, so I would say road racing, although I think I'm a decent all-round good performer in most other disciplines of cycling. Right, I haven't had a chance to experience any of the tough climbs in Europe yet, so I'm probably going to pick one that's on our doorstep, which is Carlton Bank. It's about 1.5 miles long, rises to about 850 feet. The first mile is about 7% gradient, which if you're attacking it tires the legs out pretty much before you get to the left-hand bend, which is the last half mile. And then that ramps up to about 11.7% with gradients of 20% in various places. I did it in a team competition last year and got 8 minutes 22 seconds at an average speed of 9.3 miles an hour, which I was pretty pleased with. But every time I say I'll never ever do it again, but no doubt I'll be doing it again this year and trying to beat my time. I think it's different things for different people. Cycling's a competitive sport, and whether you're wanting to beat your own personal best, your mates, your teammates, the opposition in a race, you need something that drives you to do that, to achieve those goals. And for me it's fear of failure, failure to myself, for my teammates or for my team. And this is what drives me to get up on those dark, cold, wet, windy mornings and go out training, when really all I want to do is pull the duvet up, roll over and go back to sleep.
I've decided on Team Wattcycle because it was fresh, new, brand new club, so everybody's starting together at the same place. I think a lot of girls coming from different places has worked out quite well. We've got a lot of different people with different strengths and weaknesses. We can all work together, and it just seems like a good idea. We've got lots of people working together and we're going to race together, so hopefully we'll have a good 2015. Should be good. Best cycling discipline, I think, is just getting out on the bike. I love it. Being out generally in the sun, riding up hills I think I like the most. I've done a few cycling trips to Mallorca and France, so riding up and down the hills is great. I think I enjoy it the most, although it's probably sometimes the hardest. And just enjoy racing as well, really. I've just started a little bit of cyclocross, which I think is a different discipline, which is good. A bit muddier, but tougher, but I've enjoyed it. It's good fun.
I most admire Mark Renshaw. I think a lot of people might say, oh, what about Cav? But I think Mark Renshaw is the epitome of a really good cycling teammate. He absolutely buries himself every time for Cav, and it just works so well, and they've got such a great dynamic, the two of them, which is a really, really amazing thing to see, that he's just such a great team player, and he pushes himself so hard for a teammate rather than for the win. So I really admire that. The most difficult climb that I've done sort of is it was the first time I did the Tackmadoon Road in Scotland. It was the first kind of big climb I'd ever done, and it really took me by surprise. I hadn't been cycling for very long, so I very almost came off my bike a couple of times and gave up. But I think I just had enough will and determination and energy left to keep going. And every time I do it now, I remember that that was the sort of the first climb I did, which is just fun. Like when I can go up it now and go a little bit faster and that.
Someone that enjoys the outside, wants to stay fit, assertive, keeps aware of what's around them, and a good competitive streak.